I had a little experience with Twisted Metal before jumping into the classic on PlayStation Plus Premium. I played a bit of Twisted Metal 2012 on PS3 and watched Season 1 of the show on Peacock, but I never had played any of the games that made the series popular. I honestly may not have jumped into this game if not for the show. I do have memories, however, of David Jaffe coming out on stage at E3 2010 in the Sweet Tooth truck when he was part of Eat Sleep Play. It was that E3 that Jaffe specifically mentioned he wasn't working on a new Twisted Metal, but of course he showed up at that E3. I also weirdly remember a promotion later where they had a live stream in which you would shoot the truck out in the desert with a machine gun or something like that. I always wonder whatever happened to that old truck. The original, released in 1995 and developed by Single Track, is set in LA in 2005 on Christmas Eve, and it's the 10th anniversary of the Twisted Metal tournament. You choose from 12 total vehicles with 6 levels to the tournament, with a final boss at the end of the final level. Whoever wins the tournament gets a wish granted from Calypso, as well as all of the contestants were selected by him. Each character has their own unique car. Sweet Tooth is perhaps the most iconic character, showing up in other games like PlayStation All-Stars. I had no idea he actually had a real name, Needles Kane. I didn't know that. There are some lesser-known characters that stand out as well. Crimson Fury and Outlaw is a sports car and a police cruiser respectively, and you can fly around the arenas at top speed with these vehicles. Some are smaller and some have bigger health, such as Hammerhead and Darkseid. Darkseid is literally just a semi-truck. Each vehicle has a special attack, and sometimes it's hard to tell what the attack is, honestly. Hammerhead does extra damage when running into its enemies, while Outlaw does extra damage with a lightning strike that attacks nearby drivers. These special weapons recharge over time, but while some can be game-changing, others can be tough to land and don't do too much damage. There are other pickups in the arena such as mines, fire, or freeze missiles. The freeze missiles can be really damaging as it leaves you open to many other attacks. You can even see the damage done to your vehicle and others throughout the match. I thought they were balanced extremely well. Thankfully, there is a radar on the screen that allows you to see where enemies are. And if they were too far out, arrows on the map point to where the next opponent would be. Definitely useful on some bigger maps. Annoyingly, there are some fodder enemies that will shoot you and drain your health occasionally too. They affected me most when trying to find a health station or trying to find my next enemy. The 6 arenas are pretty simple. The first is just an arena in a stadium, while the rest of the arenas are all outside. A few take place in a busy metropolitan city, one takes place in the suburbs, and the final area is on some rooftops. Each arena has you battling between 1 to 8 opponents, and certainly the more opponents in the level, the harder it is to stay alive. Your health can drain extremely quickly if caught up in the wrong attack from an opponent. There are some healing stations which allow you to regain some health, and those came in clutch. They would respawn after a while after using them, but they didn't respawn so often that it felt like I was taking advantage of them. But if you really need it, this is where the rewind feature on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 version on PlayStation Plus Premium is extremely helpful. It can change the difference between a game over and proceeding to the next level. I'll admit I took advantage of this feature several times during my Platinum journey. Every driver has their own backstory and ending. Of course, the ending isn't anything special, it's just a paragraph or so detailing what happens. I didn't play any of the multiplayer, which seems to be a selling point of the original game. I'm excited to see what Twisted Metal 2 has in store for me. I think I'd look for a bit more tighter controls and some improvements such as weapon variety in new areas. What is here is a great first entry, and I'm hoping the beloved Twisted Metal 2 adds more maps, weapons, and vehicles. Add in some cinematics at the beginning and end of each of the characters' stories, and I think you've already built on an extremely fun game.